I'm really, really sorry uh, for joining late. Uh, okay, today we'll create an account in everyone's names, and then we'll discuss some basic points. And then from tomorrow, we'll discuss about the project and we'll start actual course. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Who would like to share the screen?
In one of the demonstrations I started, so I do have an account. So I request someone to take this initiative.
Perfect. Anyone else? Maybe Deepthi joined on phone. Satya just mentioned that he can't.
Actually, I joined both, but I do have an account with my email address, so it's good that someone else start who doesn't have.
Okay. Karthik, would you mind sharing your screen?
I think we should check with everyone has an account or not. If that is the case, we can save some time.
I don't have account. This is Rao.
Okay. Rao, can you share your screen in that case?
Give me 1 second. I don't have a permission to share the screen. I think you need to give me the.
That. Can you try now? Perfect. Now, so generally, when we create an account in Salesforce, right, what people will do is either they'll directly go to Salesforce website and create an account, or you'll go to Trailer. From there, you can create the accounts, right? But the problem in these two is if you have created an account through Trailer, you have to log into Trailer all the time. And if you have created an account through salesforce.com website, then it will be there only for that particular period, like for a month or so. So rather, we'll create a free account in developer.salesforce.com. So this website gives you a lifetime free account. Okay. So can you go to developer.salesforce.com in the URL?
Second. What is that? Developer dot?
Salesforce.com. Yeah, imagine this is the one. Just remove that sign up, it will directly take you to the website.
Sorry. It's a developer dot
Yes.
Salesforce.com.
And as I mentioned earlier, so I won't share the screen for most of the times, at least in the admin part, right? Go to advanced and not done share.
You want me to try something else? This?
No, it's not working for you, right? Is that?
You can click on advanced and continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can continue with this. Just click on advanced.
Nothing is there.
Scroll down. Is it not showing anything?
No, I did.
Hmm. Just one.
Salesforce.com.
Just click on the URL that I've shared in the chat window. Open the chat window once. Okay.
Okay, this is one.
Yes. Click on browse trails. Browse all trails. Now, yeah, go with Salesforce dot developer edition. First one. Scroll down. Yeah. So you have to sign up for this. So give your details. You can give your Gmail here.
Yeah, I cannot give my employee.
Yeah.
And this is a competitor for Oracle.
And role, it can be anything. It does, I mean, it just captures the details. That's it. It doesn't matter whatever the role name that you give. And company name also can be anything. It doesn't matter. It just keeps the count of number of developers from a specific company. That's it.
It doesn't have to be a real company.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
So email
username need to
should
be.
be an email. Sorry, your username should be in email format. Like for
Email format, right?
example, if you are working for Oracle, it can be like your name at your company.com or something like that. Or you can give your exact email ID also. It doesn't matter.
Mm. Okay.
And it should be a working mail ID, okay? When you will get a verification code to that mail,
Mhm.
sign me up. So once the processing is done, you will be receiving a verification link to the email ID that you have given on the top. From there, you can set up your password. Yeah. Can you log into that email once? Yeah, it must be there in the updates. Can you check the updates? Registration. Okay, it'll take a minute. Meanwhile, I hope everyone else all have already have the accounts. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So can someone else share the screen in that case? Is that okay? Ra, you'll get the email in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Continue.
Registration mail will take some time. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Is anyone sharing the screen?
Yeah, give me
Oh,
give
you
me a
want?
minute. I'm just logging in and I'll share it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, got it. Give a second. Can you see?
Yeah. Now, okay. So before we jump into Salesforce, right? Okay, let us start comparing with an Excel. Okay. I mean, it'll be very easy if you start looking at Salesforce from an Excel point of view, because what I would say is Salesforce is nothing but a fully loaded Excel. Like, for example, there are some functionalities like you can't validate the data in Excel, or you can't do any automations in Excel, right? But all those things can be done in Salesforce. Rest, the data model is exactly similar to Salesforce. For example, okay, I think it'll be better if I share the screen. Just give me a minute.
Should I stop?
Yeah, I'll share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Now I'll open an Excel sheet. We will compare Salesforce with Excel. Uh, so let us consider, let's say this guy, Mr. Ambani from India. So let's say we don't have any softwares. We just have Excel sheets. and he want to capture his entire business in Excel only. So what he should do? So I'll just create one folder for it. And he said like his thought is, okay, let me capture my entire business in an Excel sheet. Then what he'll do, he will create
Multiple tabs, there are rows, tables.
first multiple sheets, right? For example, uh, oil and gas,
Oil and gas, right, electronic stores.
then friends,
Digital.
maybe, yeah, digital, I would say Zio, one for Zio,
Mobile, yeah.
one for Hamleys.
Reliance Smart.
Likewise, according to every business, he'll create multiple Excel sheets, right? And then he'll open, we'll open one first, irrespective of the business. So once we open a business, so what we can capture in this Excel sheet? First, he'll capture his staff details working in that, right? Like name, phone, email, salary, etc., etc.
Mm.
Right? Then then customers, same fund, like one more table for customers, and maybe the products, which is nothing but the inventory, right? And maybe the locations in that. Etc. etc. Like he or she will create multiple tabs to segregate the information. Correct. Now, let's say Deepthi is working in this organization. So I'll say Deepthi, phone as 123, email as d@z.com. And let's say Kalyan is also working. So I'll say Kalyan and email as 34 and k@z.com. Can I capture the details like this?
No.
Why? Because this is
Doesn't-
not in the right format.
Right way
Yeah.
to identify a person. Or
The problem in this is Excel is allowing me to type anything that I want. Right? Now, to capture all this, like let's say if I start comparing Salesforce with Excel. So what we saw multiple files in Excel.
multiple
Every
sheets.
file have multiple sheets, right? These are the sheets. Every sheet have rows, or I would say columns first, and then rows, right? These are the things that we saw, right? Now, if I compare with Salesforce, and what is the there is one more problem in this whole funda. What it is, every business will have customers, right? And the owner of all these business, the owner of all these business organizations is one single person. Now, let's say if Kalyan is the customer for me, I want to know how much revenue I'm gonna generate from Kalyan from all these businesses. Is that possible? Through Excel? Definitely not. Because his transactions will be there in this. here, 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 and all. So as the sheets are different, then I have to do something else, create a joint sheet where it will give me the right information. And at the same time, I'm capturing Kalyan's information in multiple Excel sheets, right, which is a duplicate. Right? Ideally, I'm
Okay.
entering unnecessary duplicates. Right? This is one more problem. Now, if I go with Salesforce, what Salesforce does is, as we discussed in the demo, so the moment we log into Salesforce, it will give me something called applications. This is nothing but your Excel files. These are the different applications. Now, if I go with an application called Sales, here, so we'll compare this. Okay. We call them as applications, each file of an Excel. Yeah. In this, so in the Excel file, what you have multiple sheets, and that too at the bottom. In Salesforce, you'll have the sheets at the top, and these are called as tabs. Opportunities, leads, tasks, files. These are all standard tabs which is given by Salesforce. Now the customer information will be there in accounts tab. So these are all the customer informations. For example, this Burlington Textiles. If I open this, I can see the entire details of that customer, right? His phone number, location, etc., etc. And Salesforce mainly concentrates on B2B. So account details will have company details. Okay. Which means can I call this sheets as tabs? Okay. Easy, right? And then coming back, if you consider this as a table, so each sheet, what is the use of a sheet? It will hold tables,
Yeah.
right? Inside the sheet, you will have tables. So in Salesforce, tab helps you to access data from the object. Similar, like in Excel, sheets helps you to access the data of a table. So here, the counterpart is object. So we call them as objects, not tables. Inside the objects or inside the tables, what you have a row. So for example, here Burlington Textiles is one row, and Career IT is one row, Dickinson PLC is one row, right? So here we call them as records. And what do you mean by column? Name, site, state, phone, type, all these are columns. So we call them as fields. Okay. So every time when I'm clicking on new, so how do we create? Just click on new, give the details. The column names won't change. Only thing is the data that you're giving inside these columns will change. Any questions on this? Anyone? Okay.
I have a
Now,
question about the files. Can you give me the little bit more elaboration on the files?
yes. So I'll explain one more point, then you'll get the clarification. So if you want to extract any or open the details of any application or any business in this four, right? If you consider all these four are different businesses, you have to open Excel file once, right? To see the data. For example, if you go to oil and gas or trends or anything, right? Once you click on this file, you will see the details of different data that is related to that particular file, correct? Similar to that, you have something called App Launcher in Salesforce. If you consider a folder, this is much better. Just give me this should not be written, but yeah. I'll say a folder. Okay, this is not a part of Excel. So you can consider as app launcher. Right? Because if I want to open this Reliance Trends file, what should I do? I should go to the folder where this file has been situated, right? Or stored. So here, if you want to access any application, we have to go to App Launcher, which is a donut symbol on the left top corner. Click on this, click on View All. Here you can see all the list of applications that are built in the organization. Clear? Now, so I mean, we discussed about one point. Okay, what if he wants to see the business or done with one particular customer? In Excel, it is not possible because you have multiple Excel files, right? That's what one negative point that we have seen. So how do we do this here? For example, we have seen sales as an application, right? There is one more called service. So in service also, I'll have accounts, and it's the same object or a table. So here also the same data, irrespective of the application, which means one single table or one single object or a sheet can be utilized in multiple applications, which is not possible in your Excel sheet, right? Because you will have multiple sheets itself, right? Which means a same object or a same table can be used across all the applications that you have in your organization, which will help you to track any information to connect with any other object as possible. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now, and for the people who said like you already have an account, yeah, if you are getting bored, please do let me know. Yeah, because as we have a little bigger size, so I just have to discuss each and everything from scratch. Or let's do it in this way, what is this?
Cloud.
Yeah, it is cloud, but what's the purpose of it?
It's a logo.
Okay. Can we change that? Did anyone try to change it?
I think we can do that.
Yeah, the logo.
Yeah. So basically, the first one is Salesforce logo, yes. And when we are creating an application, it allows you to change it according to your application. Like you can upload any image that we'll try.
Right.
And
App manager.
yeah. And what is the search bar used for? Or what is the search bar first?
Global search.
Yeah. So what is the use of it?
Anything in this,
You can
mainly
search
on the
anything at
application.
cases, leads, right?
Yeah. For example, let's say I know there is a record with the name oil. So I'll search for it. I'll just enter oil and I'll enter.
Yeah,
Now
you
what will
can
happen is
something went wrong.
I believe maybe only the sheets.
sorry.
It's only you explained the sheets, right? The tabs.
No, it doesn't matter. No,
Custom
I
object.
think there is an issue,
All
but
related to oil will be result in the displayed in the results. It can be an object, it can be an application, or any field record.
I do have
Is it
records with oil.
Yeah, we do have the oil and natural gas.
Maybe try IBM. The 8th record is IBM.
No, IBM, you'll see only one record, so that's why I'm not typing it. No, I think there is an issue with my account itself. When I say account, my org, so that's the reason it's showing. Maybe I'll fix it.
Because yeah.
So basically, what should happen is when you search anything with this particular string, right? Exactly similar to your Google search. So if I go to my Google and search for oil, what will happen? It will search or it will show me everything that is related to oil, which I can access, obviously, right? Similar to that, here also, if I search with a particular string, let's say, now why I typed oil, I know that there are accounts, multiple accounts with the same name. Perfect, it's working. Looks like there is some loose connection. Okay. Now, if you see, what this will do is, it will search for this particular string across all the objects of my organization, and it will show me the results which I can access. And if you see on the left side, it says there are 5 accounts, 5 plus contacts, no cases, no reports, no dashboards, no people. It will basically search across my full organization. And by the way, Mr. Rao, when you created an account, right, it's not that you have signed up for an account. It is basically you have signed up for one Salesforce org. In that org, we'll start building these applications. We'll create some other users. We'll provide access to those users also. Yeah, you have set up, you have created an environment, and we call them as we call it as Salesforce org. Yeah. Now, for example, now I realized, okay, I have to work in this United Oil and Gas Corporation. Now, instead of searching there every day, what I can do is I can make it as my favorite, so that irrespective of the tab that I'm in, tomorrow I can click on this drop down and open that particular account and then start working on it. Once my job is done, you can remove it from your favorite list. I think 10 is the maximum capacity, if I'm not wrong, but you can try if you want. Okay. Then, now let's say I want to create a contact record. Okay. So what should I do ideally to create a record? You have to click on the tab, click on new button, give all these details to create the record, right? But if you see on an average, I have to give around 15 to 20 fields to fill everything. But if the customer is quite busy, let's say I'm at a customer, just basically for a salesperson, right? Contact record. So, yeah, let's say I'm a financial broker. So I met Deepthi maybe in some train or so. So we had a good discussion, and she was also saying that, yes, I do want to do investments or something. I thought, okay, I'll capture her details. So by the time I open it, start asking her all the details, she may not have because she might be rushing out. So to make it quick, what I can do is there is one option in Salesforce called quick actions, or these are global actions. So if you come here and click on new contact, it'll just ask me the basic details: name, email, phone. Rest, yes, it doesn't mean that others are not required, but at least the basic details we can fill over here, and rest, as I have her contact details, maybe I can contact with her later and fill it. Okay. So likewise, we have the quick actions for multiple objects, and these are all standard. And how to create these quick actions for every custom object that we are going to create in future, we'll see that. Yeah. All the new features that are up in the Salesforce recently, in the current releases and all, so that will be enabled over here. So if you want, or if you're interested in looking any of these or the articles, you can click on them and it will take you to the Trailhead website to see them. Now, let's say you learned everything. You started working in a project, and for some reason you built some flow or validation, or you wrote some code. You followed all the guidelines, everything is perfect from your end, but still it is not working. Then what should I do? We should seek a support from Salesforce. So that's where your help and training comes into picture. So if you scroll down, click on get support. It'll ask you to give your organization production details. Once you fill it, you can raise a support ticket with Salesforce where they'll come back or they'll take the control of your org, see what's happening in that particular feature. There will be cases where the standard features of Salesforce will fail very rarely, and they'll fix it with their engineers. So that's where you'll go with help. And of course, here there are places where you can get the training from Salesforce itself, which will cost you around $2,000, $3,000 per admin or something like that. You can try it out later. And this is one good feature which is released by Salesforce around 1 year or 2 years back. I forgot the exact date, but yeah, it basically tells you the health of your organization and what all the data that you're accessing, and it basically gives you the entire analytics of a particular user you have logged in. The last one is setup. So this is the place where you can see the entire structure of your organization, right? Like how many users you have, how many users are active, or what permissions you can give, or how many applications you have, and can we create more applications? If yes, where, how many objects or any custom components. Each and everything that you are going to change about the structure, you should come over here. And when it comes to setup, Salesforce have two things. One is setup and the other one is service setup. So when Salesforce started, right? I mean, not now, right? So they came up with two things, sales and service. These are the only features that they have started. So from then, since then, they have separated these two always. So for sales, they always have setup, and for service, they used to have service setup. And if you go to service setup, you will see some features like omni-channel setup and all. So that we'll see when we are discussing about the service cloud. More or less same, like user-wise and all, but only differences is with your omni-channels. Like, for example, let us say I have 10 service agents. I'm getting some 30, 40 cases every day. Then which case should be routed to which person will be can be set up using your omni-channel support. Okay. So that we'll see when we actually start looking at it. And for example, if there is any notification like let's say Ram have sent approval request to Kalyan saying that maybe I need a leave, or let's say a customer came to me and he's asking me for some extra discount, which is not there in my hand. That is the case where I have to get an approval or seek an approval from my superiors, right? So whenever I raise a request saying that ideally I can give 15%, but this fellow is asking me around 20% as he's buying huge products, right? I can't even lose him just for the sake of 5%. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can get an approval from my boss. So once I raise a request, so he will get a notification here, which means he don't have to go to that specific object record and see if there is any approval has been raised or not. Rather, the moment he logs in, he can see the notifications on the right top itself. Yep. The last one is your profile details. So if you click on the settings, so for you, you may not see this many because I have signed up for multiple orgs. So you'll see settings, logout, and mostly these two, Comfy and Compact. This is just the display density. It doesn't impact much. If you go to settings, so everything related to you will be there in this, right? Your names, mail IDs, your advanced user details, your login history, calendar details, or the connections that you have with other orgs, everything can be checked over here. And by the way, as I have created this org, I am the admin. So I can provide access to anyone else that I'm interested. So there's about the basic setup of this org. Any questions so far? Anyone?
Not related to this, but I was checking on like this Trailblazer. I was hearing about that. So, is this part of this curriculum, or how do we start? What is the purpose of the Trailblazer?
I'll do one thing. instead of giving you so okay, see, basically Trailblazer is the place, not Trailblazer, the person who is working on Trailhead is called as a Trailblazer. It's a Trailhead website, right? So instead of uh, giving you lots and lots of PDFs, what Salesforce did is they thought like, okay, why can't we create a simple playground? For example, let's say you're working or not working. Yeah, take a video game. So when you start a video game, right? So you'll have multiple levels, right?
Yeah.
So when you start with level 0, so it'll give you some activities. Once you perform, then it will increase and then it'll go to level 1, level 2, level 3, and down, right? Salesforce picked the same concept and applied in Trailhead website. So it'll give you multiple
Task kind of thing.
badges, right? The more number of badges you do, the more number of points you get. And of course, this is not a playground, right? This is something related to Salesforce. So you will be awarded with the badges based on number of points that you are earning. That's
Okay.
what it is. And you will have some assignments there. It will ask you to create, for example, let us say you have to create an account. When you start it, it'll say, okay, this is what it is account. This is what the information you'll have in the account. And once the information is done, like maybe some 2-3 paragraphs, it'll say, okay, create an account with name as IBM, email as or company website as www.ibm.com or something like that. And once you complete it and say, okay, done, it'll connect to that org, check if it is done or not, and then it'll give you a reward. So one thing is you will be happy. Second thing is you have learned it, right? Because you'll be happy because you got the points. That's how it reads. And every feature of Salesforce have a well-versed documentation over there. Like whatever the documentation that you are going to get in future is all related to Trailhead itself. So for the people who are interested, what I'll do is instead of giving documentation separately as a PDF or so, what we'll do is I'll give you the right Trailhead links itself where you can see the full-fledged information there. That's how it works.
Okay.
You can sign up with your Trailhead, sorry, with your Gmail.
So separate again, sign up, right?
Yeah. I will-
Can we start working immediately once we start this training, or we need some time to work on that?
No, for admin, not required.
Okay.
You can immediately go with it.
You have a separate account or for Trailhead, or is it gonna be attached with the same?
I won't create accounts in Trailhead. Rather, what I'll do is I prefer, let me you go to settings. So I prefer creating an account in developer edition and then uh,
Connected
connect
again.
them with here. So you can click on connect and then see, for example, so now I'm not doing or creating multiple accounts, but yeah, earlier I used to connect 320 accounts here.
Okay. So we can create our
Yeah,
own.
I would say this is better. Reason when you are doing a trade it, right? So every time, for example, let's do a simple batch, no? Then it'll be much more easier. And I'll just open some badge or so.
Mhm.
Okay. For example, let's say I'll take some module. Just- It will ask you to create the playgrounds. So
So we are hearing the background noise from Srinu, I believe.
let's pick this up.
Thank
So I
you,
do have multiple trailer accounts also. So sure, I'm just showing you something random. Okay. So here to perform this, so either I can, if you scroll down at the bottom, so either I can open any of my connected orgs, or I can ask system to create a new playground also. If you scroll down, I'll click on playground and then just give some random name and launch it. So it'll create a new environment altogether for me.
Okay.
So this is good
The
in one way. Reason is like, yeah, you will get a new environment, but the point is like if you want to go back and refer them, right? So it will be a little tough for you. So rather I prefer picking up everything in the developer edition itself.
Developer. Okay.
Unless until Salesforce, I mean, that particular feature says it needs some data or specific feature to be enabled, you have to go with the trailer playground. So I would generally create a playground. And for the question the people asked, like, what is it? If you see here, right, I just opened some random batch which speaks about creating a basic LWC component. If you see here, right, it will give you each and everything about the basic version of a component, right? And it'll tell you, when at the end, once you complete it, this is the assignment. So it is basically asking you to launch a playground and create a component with that particular name or something. Once it is done, then it'll ask me to create this. Then I'll be getting the points. That's how it works.
Okay. I have one more question. You showed a plus icon where we can.
Just give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. You were asking something, DP?
I was asking, there's a plus icon on the corner where you showed new lead, new case. There's a shortcut. Can we design even, I mean, when you click on that, let's say you take a new task, can we customize that, or is it just like those are by default, those are the list that you have to go with?
We can create the quick actions, but I don't think we can enable them here. Let me check once. Yeah, we can create the quick
Like, let's
action
say,
for any of the objects that you have. Understood.
okay.
But yeah, when once we are discussing about the actual applications and all, right? So in the objects,
Uh-huh.
we'll create the quick action, and then we'll see if we can set it up or not.
Like even the template for each one, like new
Yes,
contact.
that we can decide.
Okay, that we can decide. Okay.
That we can completely customize, because say the email or the details that I want for a particular customer may not be the same as other companies, right?
Okay.
And how many of you have the awareness of Salesforce already? Like, how many of you have created the accounts and doing some practice already, apart from Rao?
I
I
I
also,
started
Okay.
as a self-paced training. Actually, it's as you know, earlier we had demo sessions, right? It's a self-paced training in Trailhead. It's like a company, they force us to do these self-paced, and they give certain timeline, like a 5 months. So I'm trying to learn, and I started to do this admin, and there are several courses, and the only thing is it takes so long to read and get through all those questions and
Yeah.
do by ourselves. I mean, instead of the learning part, when we consider from Trailhead, it's a big thing to read. Instead, it's if somebody teach us, it's gonna be complete in 10 minutes, like easier and to understand visually also. But when we are trying to do from Trailhead, it's like reading a lot of things.
Yeah,
to
the
do.
point, one issue with say a trailer is, as you brought this up, uh, is yes, you will have the entire information over there, but
Right.
no module is connected.
Yes. You know, for a person who is new, I mean, they will tell you all the steps what you are supposed to do. Ultimately, by end of the whole thing, I have to refer back just to understand what's the glimpse of everything at a higher level, just to make
And
sure what I
that's the
have done.
reason when I design the course, so what I do is, I mean, even in if you want to learn Salesforce also, honestly, at least in admin part, even in the development also. So there is no connection, right? For example, now we discussed about objects. Tomorrow, if I can straight away start with approval process, it doesn't matter. Salesforce gives me all the information, and then once you set up an org, even right away we can set up an approval process in your any of the objects that you already have. But the point is, without you knowing or having an understanding on what is an object, what fields that are there, or what can I do before I set up an approval process, there's no point in going there, right?
Right.
So that's where how I design is, okay. So first, when you speak about an application, I need a data model. So I'll discuss only about the data model for a first couple of days, right? And then we'll see how we can define the validations. We'll see how we can relate one table with another table. So once this entire data model is done, then we'll discuss about automations. Then we'll discuss about approval process. So that's where it'll be easier. But if we go with trailer, as I mentioned earlier, you will have all information scattered everywhere.
Yes.
Now you have to connect those dots on your own, especially the people
Exactly.
like you who started uh, the Salesforce journey. It is little difficult always. Right? And of
I
course,
mean,
it's not a
several courses
mistake of
are there.
Salesforce because none of the points are connected.
Yes. So which course have to be done first, and which one next? Which one next? There's
That order
nothing
you
like.
can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you have already completed a couple of modules or you have already seen it, doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I'll skip them, because we do have people
who don't know anything. For example, if you take Rao, right? He didn't even create an account. So I will go with the same pace that I'm going with now. If you want to reduce the speed, I will reduce. But yes, at least for the first couple of days, we'll go with the same speed or even much slower as well. But slowly, once everyone got picked up, then we'll speak about or discuss about the advanced features on any of the
Mm-hmm.
features that we are going to discuss. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just want to
no
make sure
problem.
that everyone is on the same page.
And one more quick questions. You give some assignments, right? Or is it
Yes,
gonna
I
be in this 1 hour? Are we going to cover?
No, that's the reason I mentioned that I'm not gonna share my screen. Reason is, for example, see, I'm there in the same industry from past almost 15 years. Within 3-4 months, it'll become 15 years. So definitely there will be a difference in me creating some feature or creating some solution for a problem, and you creating the same solution for the similar problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason I'll ask you people to share the screen, build it there in the screen in the session itself, and other people to watch that. And post that, I will give you an assignment later in the session where you can consider it as an activity or so, or post the session. You try it, and then next day we'll discuss about it for the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we'll go the next concept.
Okay.
But
And
I
also,
can't see everyone's screen on the same session, right? So if you have any questions, yes, you can come up and say, but yeah, if not, we'll move forward. Let's say today, if Sunanda is sharing the screen, tomorrow I'll ask Renu to do it, and other day I might ask Karthik to do that, right? So my expectation is everyone is at least completing the feature that I'm going to discuss in the session. And of course, the assignment, it is up to you. I'll ask you if you have any questions, but I can't come and see whether you have completed it properly or not. But we'll pick one person in the session who's going to share the screen for that day. We'll discuss about the assignment which is completed in his screen, and then we'll move forward. Unless until no one has any questions.
You expect the assignment in the Trailhead or
Yes.
just the
Anywhere.
Trailhead? Okay.
So I
Anywhere.
prefer, as I mentioned earlier, I prefer going with one developer edition
Okay.
where Raw has created, because we are gonna do a project in one org, not in multiple orgs. And whether it is a trailer or something else, it's up to you. But I prefer to keep one single account throughout the sessions.
Okay.
and our training sessions also will be like taking a real-time scenario and then taking one example and from there implementing all the features.
For example, if you noticed my org earlier, right, when I was sharing, so
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons or recent dogs that I've created. For 2 batches, I think I've used it. That's why I've seen 2 custom applications. There I've seen an application for career IT. We have designed one application for a real estate agents.
Okay.
I named it as No Broker. So that's one of the real estate website that is organization that's there in India. So why, which means one education industry and one real estate is what, I mean, that's for different batches. So we'll pick only one application. That should be enough. And why not complicated examples, Ram? There is no point in going with complicated examples, because my focus or my intention is to make sure that you are understanding the concepts. Honestly, I'm not that concentrated about the application. Reason, end of the day, any application, what it means is collection of objects and how you are maturing or processing that data inside those objects. That's it. This is all about an application. You speak about Rolls Royce or you speak about Maruti, it doesn't matter. Right? But are we able to understand the features by connecting them with this particular application process or not is what matters. Any simple example, we can speak about some banking sector, not the entire design of banking sector. When you speak about bank, right? So what you'll have, so a bank will have staff or they'll have their customers, they'll come and do transactions in their accounts, which means every customer will have accounts. That's it. This concept is enough. And if I take a loan, I have to pay EMIs. We'll take this one or two storylines, and then we'll start bringing it up. Okay, Ram wants a home loan. So how he'll apply? So let's say Sunanda is the person who is sitting in the bank, and will she give a loan of 1 crore to Ram immediately the moment he approaches the bank? No. She'll ask for certain documents and she'll say, okay, it'll take around a week or two for processing. Right. And in that 1 or 2 weeks, what she will do? Will she have all the permissions to give any amount of loan? No, she will go back to the finance team and the verifications team, where she will give all my details, like maybe my pay slips, my government ID proofs and all. They'll ask me to check whether I'm a genuine person or not. And one team will go and check my credit, the credit score, all this, right? Once everything is done, then if they say like, okay, this guy is gonna pay this EMI for sure within this particular period of time, then they'll come back and say, yes, this can be done. So how that process can be defined in Salesforce is what we'll see. Right? So as I mentioned, so applications, I prefer to take a very simple, a regular application, right? Rather than making it very complex about maybe an automobile industry or so. Because as I mentioned, my intention is to discuss about the concepts, not about the process of an organization. But you can define it parallelly, separately at your home and something, and come back with those questions. Okay, Ram, this is something that I'm gonna do, and I tried this. So, can we discuss? Yeah, we can definitely discuss. But yeah, don't expect me to discuss such big processes in the in the sessions. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay. Doing good. But yeah, a few things. I will be straight. If I have to say no, I will say no. Don't take it in otherwise, like why Ram is so rude. But yeah, that if it is how it is, because for you people, yes, you are the only one who joined from your end, but we have around 7 or 8 people to take care. So I have to depend on others as well.
Yeah, no problem, Ram. Yeah, we can go in everyone's
But
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can ask me any technical question. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss about any technicality.
Okay.
I hope there won't be any stops or any breaks in this training, because we have been waiting for almost more than 2 months to get this started.
No, no, apart from weekends, I don't think we'll have any breaks unless until I'm unwell also. That generally won't happen, even if the match 1 day or so. That's it. But
Okay.
generally, you won't see any breaks. But I'll make sure, even if there is any breaks, we'll make sure we'll cover it up on the weekends or so.
Okay.
Because we
So,
also have a count, right? Yeah.
You are going to take even on weekends, like if something is not covered during that week, or is it something like planned?
Yeah, that's what. If we miss anything, let's say, for example, 5 days in a week, right? So if I'm not, if I was not able to join the session on one of the days, we'll try to cover it up on the weekends. But
Okay.
don't worry, that is not gonna happen. So earlier
Okay.
we used to have the network issues, but yeah, that's all sorted. I mean, Earlier, when I say earlier, it's around 4-5 years back. But yeah,
Mhm.
so apart from weekends, 99% you won't have any breaks.
Okay.
Okay, then perfect. See you on Monday.
Fine.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.